Welcome to Typical Angry and Black, where we're not angry, we're just passionate. Today, we're going to talk about there was a recent shooting at a fast food place involving a mother and her teenage son and a strange guy and a guy. The mother and the guy was arguing in the store. The guy, for some reason, felt it was necessary to punch the mother, and the son shot him. So I wanted to get your thoughts on it, Carlisha. How do you feel about it?
I mean, that can go either way because as a woman, I know my limits. So if I see a man that's already on 10 and maybe she didn't see him balling his fist up, I'm gonna stop talking because I don't know what he come with. But also the catch 22 about it is he a man, he shouldn't be putting his hands on a woman. And then you have all those grown men that were standing behind her that just allow for it to happen. So now her son comes in and he's gonna be a hero to his mother because are you gonna let somebody hit your mom?
No,
So it's
definitely
like,
not.
yeah, so it's like a catch 22. Like as a woman, I wanted to tell her to be quiet, but also stand your ground. But the same time, it's like why all those grown men that was in that restaurant did not stand up and say something to another grown man, and why was his girlfriend hyping it up?
Okay, so my question to you, because I heard you say stand your ground, but then you said, when you saw him ball your fist up, you probably wouldn't have said anything. Um, I mean, do you still have the right to, speak your mind without having to be physically assaulted, right?
You should have the right, but to me, it gets to a point. If you see somebody balling their fist up and you already see them start cocking their arm back, I'm about to walk away because you're not gonna hit me. You're not gonna hit me because I'm gonna be honest. If it was my son and I have a gun in the car, I probably would expect him to come in there and shoot. I don't want nobody come. I don't want my son to see me getting hit multiple times by a grown man. Like that's uncalled for. But to be honest, as a woman, if I see this man's already hostile, I see he already got his fist balled up and he's already starting to lean back. I'm just about to walk away at that point. What me going back and forth with you gonna do? Nothing.
Okay. Because I was feeling like, I probably, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, I probably would have kept, I would want to say what I feel in a situation. But it's different for me, because I'm a man. So, I'm not gonna, back down and just be like, okay, this dude told me to shut up, I'm gonna shut up. Like, no, we just gonna have to duke it out. But I guess it's different, from a woman's perspective, because men are, mostly naturally stronger than women. Um, so I can kind of understand where you're coming from, where you say you just, all right, he balling this stuff, I'm just go ahead back down, just let him have it. Sometimes, you being a bigger, you are being a bigger person by just saying, you know what, I'm gonna let this person have it.
Yeah, to me, that's being strong. When you know that you can walk away from a situation and not give into a situation, that shows your strength and not your weakness. Because sometimes I think as people, not just as women, as people, we always want to get the last word, male or female. And I think being strong is knowing that you don't always have to get the last word to prove your point. Walk away, because sometimes walking away proves a bigger point than having to say something.
Now, how do you feel as a woman seeing that there's other men around watching this happen and nobody stepped in?
It makes my blood boil because we always want to take up for, and I hate to say this, it was black men up in there. We want to take up for the black man so bad, but they don't never really stand up for us as black women. And I'm getting tired of it. Like, why would you stand there and let this happen? And all you did was record. I don't know who recorded, but it was recorded. Why couldn't not one of those men step up and say, hey, my brother, or grab him in a chokehold or something, something. But it's not too many black men that stand up for black women like we need them to stand up for us. And I think that's one reason why a lot of us are independent because of that. And a lot of us are single because of that, for that very situation right there, because they don't know how to stand up for us the right way.
How do you feel about people's reaction to the video? And the reason why I bring that up because it's like nobody said anything about it. It was like oh, she shot him, or I mean, not she, but she had her son shoot the guy. But it's like more people had a reaction off the college or the high. I don't know if she was in college or high school, but the student that grabbed the mic from the teacher and wanted to say her name, like more people had a reaction off of that than this.
That shows you how sick society is and how they rather look at something that's entertaining to them than look at something that's realistic that's going on right now. That situation with that girl who wanted to grab the mic and say something, that was irrelevant. Right now, this situation should have taught young Black men with us single parents, women, to now we need to go to the gun range with our child. Now we need to get an instructor to teach our kid the value and the importance of using a gun. And I saw a video on TikTok where the guy was like, he trained people how to use a gun at younger ages. He said if that boy was trained, he would have went like this with a gun and would have been like, hey, cool out with hitting my mom because now I know how to use it instead of him being fearful. Because you can see the fear in his face. Instead of him being fearful, now you have somebody that's trained to do it and he know, okay, let's de-escalate the situation. I think now it's time for us to take more self-defense classes and stuff like that. But with that girl and that mic, I feel like people gave that too much attention for unnecessary reasons. I didn't even see the point of her wanting to grab the mic and say her name. How do you feel about that? Do you think that Black men stand up? How do you feel about those men that was in there and knowing that that woman was being hit? Like that man got 3 good hits off that woman before her son shot him.
If I was in there, I wouldn't let it happen. I'm just being dead ass serious. I would have never let it happen. I would have told dude like, hey, dude, you know, it ain't even that serious because we've seen them balling. Everybody's seen them balling fist up. I mean, I would have never stuck my nose in it while they was arguing. But when I seen dude balling up his fist, I'd have been like, hey man, you know, you ain't even got to go that far. You know what I'm saying? So, because in my mind, I'm thinking your girlfriend laughing up and joking about the shit because you be whooping her ass. You know what I'm saying? That's why she's laughing. And she's like, oh, okay, I'm not the only one getting my ass whooped today. You know, and for her to allow it, and you know, as a woman, you seeing your man arguing with another woman. Like, I'm not gonna get in, you know, arguing with no woman. That's just I'm not gonna do it. You know, it's recording is not. Yeah, you can record. It's gonna show what happened, but actually doing something and stopping it, that's what I think they should have went in. I'm just like, man, y'all let this woman down because y'all didn't step in and say something. It's like y'all don't want to step in and say something, but I'm pretty sure had he been a white dude, it'd have been all kind of other stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, don't just because he's Black feel like, oh, I'm not gonna get in it. That's none of my business. No, step in. You know, take off for you know, like, yo, dude, there's not one reason for you to be trying to fight this lady in the fast food place. Like, what could she possibly have done to you in a fast food place at 11 o'clock at night to make you want to punch her? So, I just think they let the other guys in there let that lady down. And me personally, had I been there, I would have never let it happen. I'd have grabbed dude, I'd have told him to fight me, or me and him would have been fighting. So
I'm kind of glad that they recorded it. And the reason why is because that lady and her son got off of self-defense on the cool. Because the original narrative was her son killed the man because she wouldn't talk to him. Then they kept flipping the narrative. Once we saw that video, that gave us the full story of what really happened. And like I said, I hate that she wouldn't be quiet, you know, and I hate that that man is away from his kids because we all are old enough to start changing in life. But he had two girls, twins. You didn't think about them. You didn't think about your mother. You think about anybody. And now you got the family out there making fun of the woman and her son because people had created them a GoFundMe account. Now the family is making fun of them because they have that. And I don't think that's fair to that family. Your family member decided that he wanted to put his hands on a woman. And I hate to be like this. When you put your hands on somebody, you don't know what reaction is going to happen next because you don't know if they're fight or flight. And unfortunately, that little boy was a fight that he had up in him. He didn't have that flight up in him because he could have stood there and let his mama get beat and hey, I can't do nothing for my mama. Instead, he took action into his own hands, so he fought. So this should be a lesson to everybody. Keep not only to your hands to yourself, But now we need to learn how to take self-defense classes, go to the gun range, and his family really needs to take a step back and put themselves in her shoes because they we don't need no GoFundMe account. We got this. They're taunting this lady. No, you probably don't. You probably really did have a GoFundMe. You just didn't put it out there public because you didn't know you knew nobody was gonna help y'all.
Okay. I don't think I asked you this, but how do you feel about the girlfriend that was laughing about the situation before her boyfriend got shot?
She just as bad as him. Like you said, she has to get beat at home. So the only reaction she knew how to do was to do what she did. Because I think if she would have took up for that woman and tried to stop him when they got home, it would have been her life. And we would have had a GoFundMe account for her. And he would have been in jail. Or probably because the way his family is on the run.
Yeah, he probably would have been on the run. More likely would have been on the run.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's happened. They're out of jail. What would be your suggestions like for the teenager? Like, I mean, because I'm pretty sure this is his first time killing somebody. So how do you think he should what do you think should happen to him as far as like coping?
He's gonna need a lot of therapy.
Dealing with
he's going to need so much therapy, so much support just outside of therapy. He's going to I see him having nightmares at night that only he going to have to learn how to deal with as he get older, because that's something that he's probably never done before. Not going to say probably, he's never done that before. So to do something and take somebody's life away, and you're probably going to relive that moment each time, and then you went to jail. So now on top of therapy, he's going to need a lot more help than just therapy, and it's going to have to come from everybody around him.
Yeah, like his father figures, if it's, his dad, uncles, grandparents, everything. Yeah, not just therapy, but everybody's going to have to, pull together for him and stuff.
Even her, because she watched her son pull a trigger. So now she's probably going to be paranoid about her son, like, oh my God, please don't let my son, have that burden on his shoulders that, oh man, I did this protecting my mom, and he's going to feel some type of way, and she's going to feel some type of way. She watched a man get murdered in front of her. And it wasn't murder, it was self-defense, but still, I watched somebody die in front of me. Yeah. So now both of y'all are going to be in the same household, reliving trauma together. So now you know how trauma bonding happens.
Yeah, I think it's going to take a lot from to deal with it. You gotta, the main thing you want them to understand is, it's not pulling the gun. It shouldn't always be your first option. I mean, I understand his situation. He's 14. He couldn't stand up to that, to that man, that grown man. But, as you get older and become a man, pulling the gun shouldn't be your first option, even though it's a lot of, these young cats' first option. A lot of these guys scared to get their ass whooped, to be honest with you. So they carry guns and, for protection because, without it, they feel like they're nothing, or they know they're not nothing with it. I think I would just let them know, like, hey, this shouldn't be your first option. Guns don't always, you got off on this pretty much. It was self-defense.
I think
and then just how, oh, go ahead.
I was I think he learned his lesson on this one, because, not only did after it happened, you had to go to jail. And you already know what they do to us black kids. So they probably didn't put him in juvie. They might have put him in grown man jail.
I think they said they put him in juvie.
Okay.
I think that's what I read.
But even those little kids be bad. So, to probably not even be a troublesome kid and then to be put in that environment, that might have been a reality check for him. Like, man, let me not do this again. Again, that's why, self-defense classes, I think that should be a requirement in school. Not saying that I'm encouraging you to fight, but I am encouraging you to learn self-defense. I'm gonna teach you how to be able to take someone down without killing them or hurting them, and then to be able to go call for help.
Right. Yeah.
So how do you feel about it? Like, do you think that he did I know you said that, it could have been a different way to handle it, but put yourself in his shoes. If he was a 14-year-old kid, and you saw somebody hitting your mama, what would your first reaction be?
That would have been my first reaction to shoot him. Um, I mean, I think that's any kid that's close to their parent. Um, their first reaction would have been to, shoot the person, uh, especially at 14 years old. This ain't nothing that you just normally do. This is, but still you watching some strange man punch your mama like she ain't shit. So yeah, that definitely would have been my first reaction would be to pull a gun out and blast him. I wouldn't even, yeah, it would have been a hesitation.
Do you think she's supposed to have some responsibility in it too, since she didn't, and I only asked that because you could hear them going back and forth. And I noticed when she told her son to go get in the car, because she told her son to go get in the car, and I think he thought she was talking to him, and that's what really revved him up.
Um, I don't think she had a responsibility in it because she wasn't yelling at him. It's like she was like, okay, and talking. It wasn't like she was yelling at him and all in his face like, nigga, this. It's like she was just having a regular just talk. Mm-hmm. So for that reason, I don't think that she had any responsibility because when you put somebody in the corner, they're gonna react how they feel like they need to react. So, and that's what he did. He pushed her back against the wall and forced her hand. She had to do what she had to do. So I don't think she had any responsibility in it. I think it was all on the guy. I put responsibility on the guys that was there that didn't stop it. Because you just sitting there and watching it happen. Yeah, it's because for me it's like people pick and choose what they want to voice their opinion about. It's like if you really for Black Lives Matter, say something when it's black on black also. Don't just wait and see like, when it's black and white, then you want to run your mouth and say something and, this and that. We got to learn how to,
stand up for when it's us on us.
Stand up for us, for one another, because ain't nobody else going to do it. So we got to learn how to stand up and help each other. I mean, think about how many times you tell people or you heard somebody tell somebody, I'm not going to help you if you don't help yourself. They look at us the same way. They're not going to help us if we don't help ourselves. So we gotta learn how to help ourselves and stop with this whole, oh, it's none of my business. I'm not snitching. And, because when I hear people say, I'm not snitching, I'm like, all right, so I'm going to shoot your house up, take all your money and rob you, and you better not say shit.
On the cool.
I don't want to hear a motherfucker say, yeah, on the cool. I'm finna rob, I'm gonna shoot everybody in the house. And since you don't want to snitch, don't snitch.
Using this situation. Oh, go ahead. Keep on.
Yeah, but I mean, we just gotta, it's the mindset. We gotta come out of this mindset and start looking out for one each other and sticking closer together and bringing each other up instead of trying to tear each other down and, worry about who doing the most and who doing this and that. And just worry about you and focus on you and get yourself together. And like I said, help others. It's okay to help somebody else. Don't let it seem like, if you stick your nose in, help this lady, like in her situation, it's okay to help her. This woman is being attacked by a man. It's okay to step in like, yo, dude, like, chill out, bro.
I want to ask you this, knowing, because this is not the first situation we've seen where we've seen men step to the side where they see another man going back and forth with a woman or putting their hands on a woman. How do we stop that? Because I see so many men that will stand to the side and not do nothing. It's more women that will stand up to help another woman than men will help women. And I mean this as far as not in just Black race, but every race you see, men don't stand up for women like they used to at all.
I think if a man would stand up for a woman more, especially to another guy, I think the guy that's being the aggressor would kind of back down and back away. Because sometimes it takes another man to just like, hey man, you tripping, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? And for a dude to be like, you know what, let me just go ahead and step away and just, and just chill out and think of, and just get away from the situation. Even now, I understand don't get me wrong. I know people have a different tolerance level. You know, some people tolerance levels are low. Some people got high tolerance. You know, you can't, you know, everybody got, like I said, everybody got different tolerance levels. And then it depends on the situation. Like, for this situation, like I said, she wasn't really doing that. She was just talking. I'm not going to, you know, let a dude punch a woman in the mouth because she just holding the, you know, trying to say, like, yo, stop tripping. Now, I'm going to be honest. If she was like, if it was vice versa, and she was being the aggressor, and he was like, "Yo, leave me alone," and she all in his face, pointing him in his face, and doing this and that, I'm like, hey, little mama, you know, chill out because if he punch you, I'm not gonna do nothing. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you being the aggressor now. You know, so it's kind of like they always tell a man, you know, be a man or whatever. But some of these women got to be women, plain and simple.
It's true.
You know, so it just depends on, for me, like, it just depends on the situation. It's situational for me. You know, we just got to learn how to control ourselves. You know, just have more control over our actions and don't let our emotions get the best of us in certain situations. I know sometimes people go through stuff and you can't help it, but you know, I mean, you know, ain't no with this guy. You know, he could have been going through something and couldn't help it, and look what happened to him. So, you know, it's situational for me. You gotta weigh it out. You know, we just gotta learn how to control our emotions and just, you know, try to respect each other more. Instead of being so quick to jump to aggression, you know, like, hey, you know what? My bad. You know, I was thinking this. I didn't mean to do this to you. That could have ended the whole situation.
Yeah, I think when we start learning how to use our words better and our fists and weapons less, like we said in our last podcast about mental health, I think a lot of people are battling mental illnesses that they don't know how to control, and he might have been one of them. That he was just so balled up with anger. I mean, that's why his girl probably was getting abused. Because you're not going to sit there and watch another woman, watch my man hit a woman and be okay with that. That's a red flag to me. That's, oh, you hit another woman and she didn't put her hands on you or nothing. That's an automatic, we're not together. We're not getting in the car. We're not driving off together. By the time you get to my house, your stuff is outside and my locks are changed. Because now I feel, I'm going to be honest with you, now I feel for my life. If you were so quick to hit a random stranger, a woman, imagine what you could do to me.
Right.
And I don't want to put myself or my child in any type of situation where that can happen.
Yep.
Well.
Yeah. So that's how I feel. You know, sucks it happened, but I mean, you know, like I said, I feel like dude pounds on himself. What about you? Like, do you feel like you brought it on yourself, or you feel like somebody else shared responsibility for it?
As far as that man?
Yeah.
I mean, again, if I see somebody being hostile already, you know, I'm probably gonna walk away because I don't need no drama in my life. But I'm at a point in my life where I will walk away because the younger me probably would have went toe for toe with that man and he would have hit me. And then I don't know what I would have did next, because if I would have found something on the ground, I would have been in jail just like that boy. Because whatever I find, if I find a pen, I'm gonna stab you in the neck. You hit me.
Yeah.
But the grown me is like, not every situation needs to have a reaction to it. Some reactions require that you walk away and leave it be.
True.
Well, I guess we are going to end here.
Yeah. And this concludes another episode of Typical Angry and Black, where we're not angry, we're just passionate.
Peace, you guys.
I'm your host, Philip, and this was Carlisha, and we will see you guys on the next episode.